thank all. Well, I want to thank all of you for being here today. It is, there was a lot of prayers last night as we were at a banquet. There was 89% chance of rain, and we did pretty good so far. So we do have a special treat for you here today. We're going to begin this year's ceremony with Lou DeLeo, who will sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
As mentioned, we thank all of you for coming here today. This year, across the country, at more than 3,100 participating locations, just like this one, there are millions of Americans gathering today safely as one nation to remember, honor, and teach. We are all proud to be Americans that live in a free society made up of many people from many walks of life. And these freedoms that we enjoy today have not come without a significant price. Lying here before us and in cemeteries throughout this nation are men and women who gave their lives so that we can live in freedom and without fear. We can worship as we see fit. We can raise our children to believe as we do. We are free to vote for the leaders of our choosing, and we have the right to succeed, and we have the right to fail at whatever endeavor we wish to pursue. Right now, across the country at more than 3,000 locations, they say that a person dies twice. Once when your heart stops beating and they take their last breath. But you die a final time when your name is said for the very last time. The United States of America was founded on the ideals of freedom, justice, and equality. Our nation stands as the shining beacon of liberty and freedom to the world. And we thank those who gave their lives to keep us free, and we shall not forget you. Today, more than ever, we reflect on our nation's veterans and active duty service members who have had and continue to fight to protect the innocent and the oppressed. This nation has always been the first to stand up for the freedom of people from around the world. Many of you here today have answered the call to serve your country, and we are here today to say thank you and are honored to know you. There's a quote from Colin Powell who said, and I quote, "We have gone forth from our shores repeatedly over the last 100 years, and we've done this as recently as Afghanistan and Iraq, and put wonderful young men and women at risk, many of whom have lost their lives. And we have asked for nothing except enough ground to bury them. These are the men and women that we continue to honor today." Quoting our 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We don't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Or one day, We will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was like to live in the United States where men were free. So today, we show a united front here together, all across the United States of America, as we remember the fallen, honor those who serve, and teach our children the value of freedom. And since we did our wreath laying early on, I'm going to ask for, if I could, a member of each branch as we place a wreath in memory of him. So if I happen to call out the branch of the military and you're a member, please come up, and we would be honored if you could lay the wreath here. So do we have anybody representing the U.S. Army? Volunteer. And come on down. Don't be shy.
Hi, Jim. Yeah, that's where I am. I'm at the ceremony's almost ended. I'm here. If you want to meet me here, how far away are you?
We will place a remembrance wreath in memory of those who serve
I'm right to the
and who
right.
are serving in the United States Army. Marine Corps. We will lay this remembrance wreath in memory of those who serve and who are serving in the United States Marine Corps. Thank you. So we will lay the remembrance wreath. In memory of those who serve and who are serving the United States Navy. Now, lay a remembrance wreath in memory of those who serve and who are serving in the U.S. Air Force. What about the Coast Guard? Do we have any members of the U.S. Coast Guard here by chance? Now, the remembrance wreath in memory of those who serve and who are serving in the United States Coast Guard. We have a member here, the United States Marine Merchant Marines, excuse me. They will lay the remembrance wreath in memory of those who serve and who currently are serving in the United States Merchant Marines. And now, for the United States Space Force. Those serving in the United States Space Force. And if I could ask Donna Conti to lay a wreath in honor of over 81,954 United States servicemen and women from all branches of the service whose last known status was either missing in action or prisoners of war. These individuals, as we never return home to their families, we shall not forget. Normally we do the wreaths afterwards, so today was a little bit different. But I hope everybody understood the meaning, that we were not simply decorating graves today. That's not the purpose of being here today. The purpose here today is to remember those who are here and to say their names so that they shall not be forgotten. We're here not to remember their deaths, but their lives. So each wreath is a gift of appreciation from a grateful America. These live balsam fir wreaths symbolize our honor to those who have served and are serving, and to their families as well, who would go sacrifices every day on our behalf. A few years ago, we had Medal of Honor Gary Bykirk here, who had said, "The wounds of war is being forgotten. Do not forget these men and women buried around us." And to our children, we want you to understand the values of freedom that you have today have not been free, but have come with a cost that someday you may have to pay yourself. Thanks to our veterans, we have the freedom to do just that. And I would like to, at this time, if I could have Emily Toro say very few words.
Hi guys. I'm sorry. I'm a bit emotional. This is very important to me. Just there are a lot of Gold-Star families here. Some will be recognized, some don't want to be recognized, but my heart is with you. I thank everyone for everything you guys do, because it means a lot to us to never ever forget. Because a lot of people don't understand that it takes less than 1% of American person to raise their right hand and serve our country. And those guys, I give kudos to all our veterans, all the active service members, my heart to all the Gold Star families. And thank you. I thank you and I thank you.
One thing I just wanted to add on top of that, a good friend of mine ends her presentation with the following. Don't ask me how he lived. Don't ask me how he died. Ask me who died. Don't ask me how he died. Ask me how I know. Ask me how he lived. And I will tell you the story of his life. It's very, very true. I owe that to you. We honor those today surrounding us who have served. There's a famous quote regarding our military which goes as follows: "All gave some, but some gave all, and we will not forget you." I was also reminded earlier, we had mentioned, somebody had mentioned the fact that there's a lot of people that do come home here who, as I mentioned with Gary Bykirk, who, if you are unfamiliar with his story, you should learn about it. Because as a Medal of Honor recipient, he came back home and had a very difficult time dealing with the atrocities of war and what he's seen. So it's also important to remember that of the veterans that come home today, the number of servicemen that we do lose, and it's important that we reach out to them as well. Just because they're still here with us, they're still a part of them, that is not. So we'd like to end the ceremony now. Again, I'd like to thank everybody that was here. Hopefully everybody did get to place a wreath. We went through them extremely quickly, but most importantly, if you look around you right now, this is what we're all about. So I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for being here today. It truly means a lot. So thank you. We'll end with thanks. Is there anybody here that did not get a chance to place a wreath? And I ask that because we have numerous grave-specific wreaths. Those are wreaths that somebody has purchased and has asked us to place a wreath on their grave because they either cannot make it or for other reasons. So if there's anybody that would be interested, you could meet me over here behind this white minivan, and I will give you some paperwork and you can place the wreath. We have plenty of time. Just as everybody knows, all of these wreaths that were here today, I'm getting signals. All of these wreaths that are here today came from donations. There's nothing, the government is not involved, there's no state, local representative. All of these donations came from individuals, corporations. So one of the questions that I was asked is, well, how come we don't have every grave covered? I would love to, that is my goal. This is my 16th year and I would love to see that in my lifetime. Remember this, so when you go home, we start fundraising. Like this is the end of the ceremony, this is the culmination of an entire year's worth of work. And we start about a half an hour after we get out of here, working on next year. So if you are interested, we will have an actual matching program where any donations that are received for our fundraising group will go double. So think about this. If you come back next year, we'd love to see all of these graves covered at some point in time. So I want to say thank you very much again. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And my silent partner. Two things actually. Number one, Courtney was right. If you are on Facebook, we do have our Facebook group, which we will be posting photos from today's event. So it's Wreaths Across America at Long Island National Cemetery. You can follow us there. And also, for everybody that was here today, what you see that lay down must be picked up. And that will be on January 23rd, beginning at 8:30 in the morning. So all of these wreaths that you see here today, they will be picked up. So if you want to come and participate as well, okay, we would love to have you out here. And the more hands we have, the quicker it will be. On that note, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you.